Hello, everyone, and welcome to Studio Live. This month's topic is Let's Get Social. We're going to be discussing some simple ways to share your ideas and special product pics on social media. We'll also discuss a couple tools that will help make it easier to perform these tasks, to create posts. We're going to be discussing several different forms of social media. First of all, I'd like to explain I am in my Studio Online account, which is the monthly subscription to Studio. I always seem to use this to do my webinars. Well, pretty much I use it most of the time. I have Studio installed on Parallels on my Mac, but I seem to use this all the time. So first, we're going to go in Studio. I want to show you a couple things. I already have uh, a file open. And this happened, if you look up at the name here, you see Karen Parhams. She's one of our customers that uses Studio. She says, I don't know what I would do without Studio. This is an example of an exterior remodel, just a quick thing she used for Studio, but it moved the project forward for this client. You can see here is the photo. Now you're thinking, well, I don't see any difference. Now I'm going to show you how I changed the template, but first I want to show you the end result so that you'll know where we're going as we get started. You can see this is the original photo that Karen sent me, and Karen's client was so tickled because she couldn't visualize exactly what Karen was talking about, and Karen also sent this to the contractor, and the contractor just loved it. And now the contractor is always requesting, "Can you show me what that would look like in your program?" So she says she uses Studio all the time. So let's zoom in just a little bit. I'll click the Zoom Within Rectangle tool, and I'm going to zoom right over here to the corrected photo. Now you can see this is the big window here with a single door. Over here, what she did was photo clip this door. As you can see, the little reflection here. She duplicated the photo clip again, made the double door, the French door, and then what she did, she also photo clipped this part of the window here and put that over on the other side. So she did away totally with this section here. And I love it because it updated that. I'm assuming it's a family room. I didn't ask Karen what room it was, but I'm assuming it is a family room. Gave double doors. Everybody loves double doors. I like the doors being in the center more than being over to the side. And look at the light that is allowed in that room now. Let's zoom back out. So Karen did a fantastic job. Does not take any time to use the photo clip tool. So that is a great thing to do, and it's a great thing to show on social media. So this was a perfect example of something a little different to do with the other than obvious share renderings that you've done on social media. So we're not going to show that, but we're going to want to show a couple of things like this that you could do. And notice now this is not mine, and I'm not sure if Karen's on today. We have so many on that I can't tell who. I can't scroll through and see who's all on. But I just put this on here as a watermark because I think especially if you're going to share it on social media, not watermark, but well, kind of a watermark, but a copyright. So put your copyright on there, and at least they know where it's from. If it's on social media or somebody, if it's not this particular photo, this is very specific to a house, a homeowner. And of course, I put the Greens home, and that would be me. And I put this little title, Let the Sun Shine In. And I used the font Jane Print, which I love that font. Let's go now. This template is from our storyboard template. I didn't change the colors, which you can change the color on every bit of this very easily. The ribbon, the tag, the flowers, all of that, the colors can be changed on. I just left it the neutral because I wanted the focus to be on the photo. I wanted the photos to be as big as possible or as large as possible. So I had to do quite a bit of editing to this template. So let's go look and see how I did that. So we'll go to page 2. This is a blank page. I have already changed my paper size to legal, and I did that by just coming to my page setup and changing it from letter to legal. Now, if some of you are going, well, I don't have that on my quick access. This is the quick access toolbar for those of you that don't know that. Say, I don't have that on my quick access toolbar. All you have to do, go to the Raspberry, click, right click, and whoops, I was slide down too far, add to the quick access toolbar. Mine is grayed out because I already have that done. And also, thanks to Evelyn Lalakata last year, she did a webinar for Minutes Matter. She told us these two little tricks that she did. She added page setup and export because she does it all the time. She's always using Studio and using a lot of times. It seems like I use landscape more than I do letter, not landscape. I use legal size more than I do letter. So page setup being on my quick access toolbar is very handy. And so, of course, is export because you're going to always export your rendering as a JPEG to clients if you want your clients to see it. Okay, so let's go back to the marketing and let's go to storyboard. Now, if you don't have the storyboard module, you're not going to be able to have these templates, of course. But if you have Studio Online, everybody that is on Studio Online always has everything. So you'll be able to get those. Let me pull over. This is the template, as you can see, and I'm going to position it. So we have a small margin. Notice how it's a wireframe view. You can see that I have about the same margin, the top, the bottom, and the side. So I'm going to drop it there. And then what I'm going to do, always on storyboards and the kitchen, I think it's the kitchen module too, you need to ungroup. So ungroup, I'm going to click away, and then I'm going to highlight, because I don't want to stretch the entire thing because it would skew the tag and the flowers. So there's only certain things I want to stretch. So I'm going to click on the background, hold my shift key down, click on the scallop mat, and then I'm going to click on the ribbon. And I'm going to stretch it all the way across and get my margin about the same on the right and left, drop it. And then I'm going to, the next thing I want to do is make sure let me click away. I want to get the entire mat. I'm going to stretch this mat out because my object is to get those photos as large as possible so that you can see them. If we made the photo here that large of a photo, you would have a really hard time seeing it. The client would have a hard time seeing it. So we're going to move that out, stretch this down, and then, whoops, I stretched that just a little bit too far. Move this. I'm going to ungroup these little flowers on the corner flowers. Ungroup. Move this over now, all the way to the corner over here. Because I only stretched it on the right side, this motif stayed fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and move the tag over here, and I'm going to group the ribbon and the tag. Already had that. Right click, group, or Control G. And then I'm going to highlight this first photo with the frame, and I'm going to delete it too because if I flipped it, the shadow would be wrong. So I'm just going to make this one larger. I'm going to move it all the way over here, and I'm going to stretch this down. And I think I can stretch this out. I don't have to worry about getting it proportional right now until I bring my picture in. Then sometimes you have to make some adjustments. All right, that maybe a little bit, and we'll duplicate that. Control D or duplicate. Move this all the way over. Oh yeah, I can make it quite a bit bigger. So now I'll stretch this down. And what I'll do is highlight this one first. Now this is the trick. A lot of times when you are trying to make things the same size or line to top, make sure you click the good one last. So whatever has the darkest pink line, that's going to be your commander. So we'll click same size, and there we go. I'm going to click away to make sure I don't just sub-select something. So it's always good to click away. And I don't care if these are pretty close because I want the photos as large as possible. That's the object of the whole thing. I'm not worried about the tag being in the back or the flowers being in the back right now. I want to get the photos on, then I can bring those things to the front. Otherwise, you're doing double work. So we'll go get the photos. And you're thinking, boy, that's handy, because, of course, I've been practicing, so that's why I already know where the photos are, or it remembers. So we'll go get the first one. Now, when you're changing the size or resizing a photo, be sure and hold your shift key down. If you don't, notice how I cannot distort it. But if you don't do that, you will distort it. I'm going to also, so I can have my photo as large as possible, just because this margin or this mat is large, you don't have to keep it that large. I'm going to use my arrow key to get it down just a little bit. That's about the size I want. And then I'll hold my shift key down. And that looks pretty good. Move it over just a little. That's good enough, even though it could go down a little bit more, but that's okay. So we'll bring in the next photo. And if I needed to resize this, I could easily, if the photo, keeping it proportional, sometimes you need to adjust the photo, you might need to adjust that, the photo mat to fit your photo. That happens in the storyboard module all the time because photos are different size. You may have cropped it. You may have done all kinds of different things to it. So I always make the photo smaller and then enlarge it as I'm putting it on. I think that's a little, move it over. I won't take too much time. I'm a little OCD sometimes on things, but I try to let it go as I'm doing a presentation. Oh, and I see that I made it the same size, but I didn't line the top here when I was doing that. Oops, I got the photograph. Click away, move that back down. Okay. All right, now we can move things to the front. So we'll move the ribbon and the tag to the front. We'll bring those to the front, and on your quick access toolbar, most of these tools that I'm using are right here. Same size wasn't, but bring to front is. So we'll bring that to the front. Now you notice the flower is to the back. So we'll highlight that, bring it to the front, and then we'll also, I want it a little bigger. So we'll stretch it down just a little bit. We'll highlight this one, bring that one to the front, and we'll also stretch that one. You don't want to bring it up too much, but just a little, because it just makes that look a little more friendly. And then we'll add our text box right here. And we'll go ahead and change that to Jane Print. And I'm going to enlarge the text box too. And I have to click. You have to click to get it to go. Let me click away. Click again. There we go. The green. Then I want it centered, so I'll go ahead and click the center text button and click away. On our text box, you have to click away to see it. And then I also, while I was there, I meant to enlarge it. There we go. That looks pretty good. And it looks like it cut off a little bit of my T, so I'll just stretch the text box out just a little bit more. There we go. and you can move that just a little over to so it gets in the center. Let's see what else. And then, of course, I won't show you about the text right here, but here, that's how we took a storyboard, enlarged it to do what we needed it to do, and just did some edits that took maybe 10 minutes to edit it. But look how great that looks. Any client, I mean, the client just loves the presentation. Oh, let's show I see one thing that I'd like to show you while we're here. Let's go to the Custom tab, and let's go to my favorites. Oh, no, I meant templates. And wall templates. And then I'm going to drag over my copyright. So make sure if you haven't put your copyright in the Custom tab, and to do that, all you do is copy it, you copy that, and come over here and paste. So that's all you do. It's very easy to save things to your Custom tab, and when you do that, we're going to show that a little bit more later, so I won't go into detail. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to bring that font down. I'm going to make it so you can see the difference, 12. And I'm going, let me click away. Now notice that box is huge, so I'm going to bring that text box down quite a bit. It's not a good idea to have text boxes that stretch across the page, because when you're trying to group or you're trying to manipulate images and that text box is huge, it gets in your way. So never keep your text box extremely big, and you never let your text box go off into the gray area. Remember to stay on your workspace. So let's duplicate that. And then I'm going to highlight this one. Remember, this is a commander, so we can line to top, so they'll both be lined up. And there you go. Now, I think on the original one, look how much smaller. That's a 9 point, and this was a 12. So it's just a little bit bigger. So it's up to you how big you want your copyright to be, especially if you're putting it on social media. The other thing that I might do for a copyright / watermark would be to put your website, www.dandelioninteriors.com, because that way, they don't have to go search. They know there's a website for it. So I think putting your website, that's what I've done on Pinterest. All right, I'm going to highlight this whole thing. So I'm going to press Control A to select all. That's a great way to select everything on a page if you wanted to group it, and if you want to delete it all. So hit your delete key or right click and delete, either one. Now, another thing that's good for social media is the storyboard. I love the storyboard for using it in social media. So let's go look at components. Now, there's tons of templates in there, so go and investigate templates. Don't think you have to use a template just the way it is. You can delete whatever you don't like. You can change the colors on them. You can do whatever you want. Of course, all of our templates or images in Studio, most of them are the neutral color palette, so that you can change colors. You can ungroup it and change colors, or change colors by sub-selecting. But most of the storyboard, you have to ungroup before you get started. Like this one, I love this. This is so adorable to put on social media. Put up, and all you'd have to do, I'm going to ungroup. Like say you wanted to show a product, just a unique way. Now this is still grouped, but I sub-selected. I'm going to move it up a little. See, it doesn't hurt it one bit to be moved up a little. Say you want to, and you could change this background. Now I need to ungroup again, because this little frame here is, and let me see if I can do this. I'm going to change the color of the frame, because we're going to change, I'm going to just change it to this bright green. Nope, that did the whole thing, so that's not what I wanted. Control Z to undo. So we'll go through changing the frame in just a minute. But I'm going to come here, ungroup. When you're moving it up, you definitely want to ungroup. But say that I now want to change this to a white background, because if you bring in some of the images from your vendors, that is on a white background. So you may not want to, you don't want to have to resize it. You can just bring it into Studio, remove the background, it'd be white anyway. It would look fantastic. So let's go change this to white. And I can just happen to use this one. And now you have a white background on there where it's easy to change. Now we're going to change the frame because I ungrouped it, remember? And I know I probably should move that for you guys to see it. But look how cute that is. So cute. You could change the envelope too, the envelope. Another cute one, I'm going to go ahead and delete this, highlight, and hit the delete key. Another thing that's a good one is, let me scroll down, is a paint card. So, and if you show your favorite paint colors, or maybe a room you've done with several colors on it, you can leave the top one white and add 4 colors to it, or just add some colors that are maybe your favorite beiges or your favorite ivories, and what I would do, if Benjamin Moore is your favorite, then use the call out tool. I didn't want it to go down, I wanted to go up. Let me do it again. Get the call out tool. There we go. I love the call out tool, so cute. All right, we're going to duplicate several times, and it doesn't matter where I space them, because I'm going to have Studio fix them for me. So I'll highlight all of them, and it happens to be, this one's going to be my dictator, which is good. I like that. And I'm going to line left. So now they're all lined up. Then I'm going to also space across and space down. So now they're even. Now it won't take time to do a text box, but then you could come here, do a Jane print, and tell each of the colors what each of those colors are. So that is another great way to show and share on Pinterest. People love, 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 love paint colors on that. But once you show them on Pinterest, put it on your blog, put it on Facebook. Maybe word it just a hair different, but I would put it all over, especially on your blog. Make sure you put everything that you post anywhere on your blog. So now, the one thing, let me show you what would export. If you did it just like this, that's what would export. It would have no border over here, and it would be all of that text box. That's another reason to make sure that you keep your text boxes close to the size of what the longest name of a paint would be. Now, if you wanted that to be a little bigger or have a border, you could come to, in our components, there's a paper clip. There's so many cute things. And then here's paint chips too. You could do that if you wanted to instead. Let me go get I'm looking for like this background. Okay, now I know this is going to take up my whole space here. We're going to send it to the back. You could, let me delete my paint here. Delete. Take this, resize it. You could make a card like this. You could take any of these backgrounds. There's matted background, a scallop background, a striped background. You can delete if you don't like some of it. If you just want the stripe, you can delete the bottom of it. So any of these things that we have here, you can change. Of course, I would move this over a little bit and probably resize that even more. And change your colors. Make it fun looking. Make it go with the colors that you're using. Maybe put the title of a room that these paint colors are good for. And there's a couple more I want to bring and show you in here. And a lot of you, if you haven't explored this a lot, this is a Polaroid photo frame. I love Polaroid frames. And again, you can highlight this, change it to white if you want to show a product background. Then there is another. This is that torn edge photo. I want to show you the one that's burnt. That's a stacked photo, aged. Here it is. I wanted to show you how you can. Now this one, if you'd think, whoa, how do I get that apart? But you can ungroup it, and then you can move. Oops, you click away and grab it. And there's you can place that over any photo, and it helps it to look aged, just kind of like some of your apps. Some of your apps would do. Let me scroll through here. I think that's all the ones I wanted to show you, but just look around and use your imagination. There's so many cute things that you can do. We recommend finding 2 of the templates in Studio, in your marketing or your storyboard module. Find 2 templates, customize those. But even though I didn't customize this one very much except for the watermark, or the copyright, there's several that have a lot of room for your logo, or branding, and you can brand them different ways. So definitely do that. All right, now we're going to go to show you some of the social media, some examples. So I've already got Firefox open. I go right to Firefox inside my Studio Online account. And let's start by looking at the blog posts. And here's some different blog posts, but I want to show you this one, Master Bedroom Gets a Facelift. I've been doing quite a bit of remodeling this year in my own house, especially 2 rooms. My bedroom and, I finished this year with my bedroom and the living room. So as we scroll, this one was a longer blog post. So I wanted to get this one out of the way quickly because I didn't want y'all to think you have to write blog posts like this. Most of the blog posts I try to do them short because I'm just like you guys. I have a huge time restraint of doing too much. So I try to work on social media maybe an hour a week, and that's it. You just find out you just can't. Now this is another blog post that I clicked on my button. Another blog post I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a straight-on shot of the fireplace in our bedroom, and I'm going to show how this piece of art, my designer Betty Zettergren, did this piece of art for me. She's a great artist. Then I bought a tree from Etsy, and I switch out at Christmas time. So that's a great blog post. People love seeing that. That's all you did. All I did was that one simple thing. Well, I added some poinsettias in here too. Okay, so I did that too. But you don't have to do too much when you have that big of a piece of art in your room. I did the same thing in my dining room, so I'll probably show both, how you can change those out very quickly. And let's go to, so whatever you do, this one happens to be a long blog post, but like this one, What Does the Fox Say? I love foxes, and it reminded me of that song, What Does the Fox Say? It's a crazy song, but it's very catchy. But this has 3 paragraphs, and that's it. This is a painting I'm going to have my designer do, a watercolor, and I found the inspiration at High Point and loved it, so I'm going to have her do something similar to it and put in my living room. So always do, whatever you do, try to put it on your blog, because I feel like if people are looking for you, they know your name of your business, maybe they see you on Pinterest or Facebook, they'll go to your website. Give them links definitely to go to your website. They're going to expect the most information on your website. Let's go to Pinterest. Now, I have a lot of stuff on Pinterest. I will sometimes just have my phone at night, even while I'm watching TV. It's just like mind numbing. Just pin, 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 pin. And let me scroll down on the window treatments. I think it's down to the bottom. I don't know what. There it is. I have 455 pins for window treatments. And so there is a lot of those. I have a lot of paint colors I've pinned. But you can see when I pin, I'm in my personal account. I have two accounts. My personal account, Debbie Green, and then I have Minutes Matter. So with Minutes Matter, what I did is invited Minutes Matter to this account. So when I pin here, it automatically pins to a board, the window treatment board on my Minutes Matter. So that way, if one of you guys are on Pinterest, but you're on Minutes Matter, doesn't matter where you are, you're going to see the same posts on here. And you can see, let me scroll down, you can see where, and vice versa. If I'm logged in as Minutes Matter, like you can see I was logged in as Minutes Matter, it was pinned by Minutes Matter, but it came over here to this board on my personal side. So that's another great way. And I love that Pinterest is so searchable. Well, you can tell I was searching Benjamin Moore paint colors. And because of what you title it or what's in the text, it is very searchable. So Pinterest is a really good place for people to find things and put your name in there so they can look for it too. And there's a person. Let's see if I can, here she is. Here's Kaylee. I know you guys might not can see that. Kaylee M Interiors. She's in Canada, and she typed this, found her 4 paint colors that she liked. She said, best Benjamin Moore paint colors, cool colors, blue and green. So that's what I'm talking about. Do something like that. Find your favorite paint colors, and make a little board out of it. It is incredible how, or this one, she named it Rachel's Picks Grays. Do that. You're the one. You're the one that likes the color. Definitely show that your talent off. That's what you do as a designer. Everybody loves if you put your website and it's an interior design and they realize it's interior design, they'll be following you. You'll get lots of followers quick. So check that out. All right, and here's Facebook. Now this photo, this is my living room that I've just redone. I've kind of combined mid-century modern and traditional together, which I know that's, but I love simpler, so I like the mid-century, but not all mid-century, just some of it. And that was taken, this cover photo was taken with my iPhone and with one of the apps, the camera apps, and we'll talk about that in just a minute because we're going to talk about tools to make it easier to post. But here's some of the things, like I posted about the history of Labor Day on Labor Day, and I scheduled that post too. And then this is some sunflowers. These are giant, 42-inch, so you can imagine how big those are that I'm putting in my living room. And that's one sentence is all I did. What a difference Miracle-Gro can make. This is July 4th, and this was Labor Day, or just last weekend. And this was about what the fox said. And this is fall is in the house. I love decorating with fall colors. And this is some of my mid-century. So just scroll and then here's rendering. So just a mixture of things that you like to post, and definitely you're going to see these collage apps or this collage app that I'm going to talk about, Pick Collage. And that way it can show these two things so that you can see before and after. I started my rendering probably 18 months ago, got it created for what I like, and you can see this door. We'll talk about the door later because you're getting a free template today. And but this is what it ended up. We just really finished this in February this year because I wasn't sure about it took me forever to find someone to do my hanging nightstands with the sheet metal top and that I wanted, distressed. So, and then these sconces, those took a little bit too. They were antique and I'd had them for a while. So anyway, that's the Facebook. Now, one thing about Facebook, I used to get a lot more views from on Facebook, and I think that it because they have monetized Facebook, they definitely want you to boost the post. So if I want you guys to see stuff on Facebook, I have to pay for it. You don't have to pay a lot, and it does get to a lot. You maybe $20, but I mean, $20 is pretty cheap for advertising. $20, $30, it gets more people. So let's go to Instagram. I've just started with Instagram not very long ago because so many of you were joining it. So anyway, here's some of my examples on Instagram. I do a little bit of all of it. But Instagram, the difference with, yeah, I need to definitely talk about this one. This is notice how the photo doesn't look too good? It's because it's not a photo. It is, let me see if I go this way, if I catch it. No. Now this is a photo. Look how much better that looks. This is actually, because it's a rendering, because it's a studio rendering, and of course I saved it as a JPEG, but it is not a photo. So what I had to do, you're going to laugh, I had to make sure that I got in a place so I could take a picture of my screen with my camera. So I also had to make sure there was no reflection on the screen, and then I cropped it to fit. So you go through a little bit, but you cannot post a link or a screenshot. Now, if you're on a website, you can right-click Save Image As. Of course, if it's now Pottery Barn or West Elm or any of those other websites or a vendor's website, you don't have to give credit. But if it's somebody's blog or something, you definitely need to credit that. But notice I put my blog post right here. If you want to read more, read all the details, they have to copy that. That doesn't hyperlink. It's not a hot link. So that Instagram is different, but there's a lot of people on Instagram. I don't know how many I think a lot of you are on there, but I'm not sure how many of our clients are on there. I think they're on Pinterest a lot. I think they're on Facebook a lot, but you might need to pay to post. Let me go back to, well, let's make sure I'm finished here. So anyway, if you want to get a rendering up here, you have to take a picture with your phone to turn it in a JPEG into a image or a screenshot. All right, let's close that. And I want to go back just to show you, in case you haven't ever done this, if you start here, see where it says Boost Post? That is where you would boost the post. I don't know if it's going to let me since I haven't started here. See, like right here, it would tell me it's a $20 budget. It's going to reach 4,300, but you need to pick your audience. So you would edit your audience of the age and what do they like, that type of thing. So make sure that you do that. So it doesn't take, it's not a huge budget that you have to do. My Minutes Matter budget is more, I think, because I have a lot more followers on that one. It costs quite a bit more to post or boost my post. Okay, so now we're going to go to, I want to talk about some of the apps. So we'll go to app. This is one of the camera apps. Now this actually takes photos. So this actually, you would open up this particular app and take your photo. And it does it like, it renders it. It makes the lighting really good. So you practice. I in different places make I have to use different apps sometimes. But if you're trying to post, I mean, yeah, it may take you 5 extra minutes, but it's worth it when you get that great photo. And your business is about images and what people see and how they perceive that. And you got to look good. So this one and this, I wanted to show you reviews. So the current version only has 68 reviews. They've had 4,080 reviews on this one. Let's go to App Camera Plus, and we'll go here. So I'm just getting into iTunes, but this is an app that you could find on your app store. These are also on the Android, also both of these, or the ones I'm showing you, I think are both. So now this one is $2.99. I forgot to look. Over 1 million sold. This is a favorite. This gets huge amounts of reviews. And look how many reviews, 30,000, almost 31,000. And they just released a version, obviously, but this one I do like Camera Plus. I like it a lot. I use it a lot. And again, that is a camera app. And once you get finished, you can also do the editing. So it's really pretty good to use. I use my plain camera on my phone, but a lot of times if I'm really trying to take a good picture and the lighting is giving me fits with the outside windows, I use Camera Plus or Pro HDR. All right, the next one I want to show you is Pic Collage. This is the one, it gets a lot of reviews too. Let me find it in iTunes. You have to make sure when you're searching, if you do a search, it says iTunes.apple, or if you're looking for the Play, for the Google Play Store. So let's scroll down. You can see this one's had almost 100,000. It's going to be 100,000 rating, and it's total 5 stars. I guess no one's given it. It says not as great, but evidently they've had so many that's a lot of stars for that many people. So this is a great app, and it's just about collages. And I don't put all of I don't really do too many fancy things, but I love showing side by sides. And you want them big enough, especially for design. You want them big enough so people can see them. So there's some videos about those too, how to use those. And I think my last one is the waterlog. And this one's just if you have extra $3 you want to spend. You saw that waterlog. I think I showed it to you. It just changes it a little bit to a sketch and has a lot of different filters on it. So this one is I think it's fairly I think it's fairly new, maybe a year or so old. So it was picked best of the Apple App Store in 2014. So all right, the next thing we want to do is go to the forum. And I want to show you, we just, yesterday during my coaching beat up session, I had showed them quite a bit of things about doors. Oh, let me get logged in. Oops, didn't mean that. I never can stay logged in because I have so many different logins for the bulletin that I can't save it. So here's what we wanted everybody, and Anna is going to be putting that link to the forum post on the door template because we're giving away these door templates. So I'm going to click to show you what I did. I know this has nothing to do with social media, nothing to do with our topic today, but I thought when I found that, I thought, oh, everybody, who wouldn't want these interior doors? So all I did for this, I did a really quick template, a door template when I was doing my room. I just drug over one of the door templates with the full glass, and then I added these panels. As you can, I ungrouped and drug them over to the side, and that created this door. Then I created one from scratch that has the blocks, the corner blocks, and the fluted trim. So this is all from scratch. It's not a template that I started with. It's rectangles, the line tool, circle tool. I think that's about it. And then Merlin chimed in. I know a lot of us haven't heard from her in a while. Merlin chimed in and added these templates. And we're gonna show you how to save those in Studio. I'm gonna go back to Studio in just a minute. But here's a triple, a door, a front door with side lights. It can be exterior or interior. And then some more interior doors. Now these do not have trim, but you can add that, and we'll show that in Studio in a minute too. So if you like this, here's the like button. You can come and click like on these and download them and save them to your Studio. So let's go to Studio now. So Anna, I think she's given that link to everybody. Let's go back to Studio. And I'll highlight everything by pressing Control A, delete. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring in that template. So I'm going to, let me see, bonus template, entry door, door template. Let me bring in this. And here's these door templates. So if I wanted to save this to my custom tab, I'll go to custom, and then I'll come to components. This is where I'm putting them, and I created a new category. All right, you right click up here on components, and you can add item. That would go underneath components. If you add a group, that would be just like components. So you could add an item. I've already added an item, interior doors. Slide over. And I've already added all these doors. There we go. Highlight those and get rid of them. And if you say that I didn't have this, all you do, right click, copy, come over here, right click, and paste. And then click and click and title it. So that's all you do, name it. And then I'm going to delete it since I already have one. Here we go. Now, I'm not going to save this again because I just copied that again, delete. But say that you had this template here and you wanted to save it. You would save it in your templates. Oh, I just hit save and I just lost the other one. Okay, let me do a save. For me, I need to do a save as because I opened a template. So I'll do a save as so I can show you where it's going to be saved. I'm going to click on my down arrow. It's in, now I have it in Dropbox. You guys, if you don't use Dropbox, it would just be under My Studio Designs and under Templates. You would not put this in Clients. But any templates you get from us or you get on the forum, always save those and name them again if you need to name them. I named mine Door Template. Merlin named hers Doors. So you might say Door Templates Merlin. Just make sure you can't name them exactly the same. Or put them all on one page and name them as just have one template in there. That might even be a better idea. Time saving. All right. I hope I didn't go too fast. You guys go ahead and be posting questions if you have them, and we will try to answer those.
One thing that someone mentioned while you were talking about the marketing and things, that she does original art ideas. She sends her photos in and has them put on Canvas.
Yes, that is a great idea. And that would be a great blog post. That would be a great blog post to do how you do that, and the vendor that you use, and the price. People like to know all of that.
Okay, and then Gail is wanting to know, uh, you scheduled your post for Facebook. How did you do that?
Let's go back. I'll show you how you schedule. It's very easy. They've added that, and I believe you can do it on your personal page as well. But you see, when you come down to publish, schedule, you schedule it. I mean, it's super easy, and you just pick a time and date. So it by clicking around, you can always uh, find by just click, because when you see a down arrow, you know there's more. There's more choices. Just like in Studio, there's more choices. I see a question. How on aside from my connections, Minutes Matter connections, how do you increase your blog subscribers? How you get more blog subscribers is by being on Facebook and and boosting your post and say subscribe to my blog, and you need go ahead and seed your blog. What that means is add some blog posts, some uh, interesting posts on there. Go ahead and have some of those on there, and it will definitely boost your post. And tell them how to subscribe. Say subscribe to my, if you want to get these in your inbox. And they love designer tips, so that's definitely Pinterest. Same thing. Put maybe the same thing on Pinterest, and do it on Facebook. All right, let's see. Okay, somebody said they are searching for the camera app. Did you? Well, the Camera Plus. Don't put a space between the plus and camera. Let's see what else.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Now,
Anna.
do you see the question that's about the font? I couldn't remember. I know it was
No,
Jane.
I didn't see the font. Oh, Jane Print. Let's go here. Do a text box.
And they may not have Jane Print. They might need to download it. I think we have a link on the
There is, Anna.
line.
If you find that, here's the font, Jane Print. I was going to talk about there. We have several inside Studio Online. We have several architect fonts, and Damned Architect is one of them. I never say those words, but anyway, I can't believe they had to name it that. But some characters don't work in that particular font, so just be careful. Like I think it's some of the symbols that aren't they didn't create in that font. So that's some of the architect fonts are text, pretty much the alphabet and numbers. Oh wait, okay. So type in. They're still having trouble finding the camera app. So let me go down here. And I typed in Google. I typed in, I guess I'm using Yahoo. Uh, Let me click on my Google search, see if it comes up different. App, camera, Camera Plus, no space. And it says iTunes. So that's it. You see that? So that should, and as soon as you tap on that, you see the Camera Plus. By tap, tap, tap. Oh, what a name. That's an odd name. What were the other names of the photo apps? Pic Collage, so Camera Plus with no space, and then let's do, whoops, if I could just type. This one, Pic Collage, was huge. And let me go, I gotta find the iTunes one. This is it, and look for that little icon. And then the other one was Pro, and they're so reasonable. I used to think, oh my gosh, that's $3. Well, we spend that on coffee or something. My gosh, they're not much. So, find out which ones you like and do a little. They have some videos. Watch those so you can learn how to use them. They're easy to use, and just playing around and clicking is easy. Like this one, you can see the screenshots here. You just slide. You have a slider, brightness, but you don't want to slide much because it makes all the difference in the world. It can totally ruin the photo or wash it out. So let's see. The other one was waterlog, and that was spelled a little different. And it has a website.
I think Donna was trying to look in the App Store, and it was easier to find it when she Googled, when she went to the internet and did a
Okay.
search. So it
Okay,
is
good.
easier to find from that direction. And
Sometimes
then
it is, yeah.
Phyllis is wanting to know, and she said this is a little bit off topic, but she's just trying to know where to start with
Oh,
her
that's a
Minutes Matter and Studio.
That's a great question, Phyllis. I meant to address something on that nature. For if you're not into social media, you haven't been doing it, or you were doing it kinda and then just haven't been doing it, just haven't taken the time. It's kind of like exercise. You think, "Oh, goodness, I've got so many projects." But just as we all saw several years ago where the bottom fell out, you don't need to put all your eggs in one basket and just wait on referrals. You need to constantly be marketing. And it doesn't take much, and it doesn't cost that much either. So make sure that you are always marketing. And I would pick two things, two social media outlets. You know, you don't want to do too much because you're not going to do it. If it's overwhelming, it's kind of like we tell people to, when you start with studio, you don't want to eat the elephant all at once. You don't want to do sidewall, perspective. You don't even want to do that just yet. So you want to make sure that you do the facing wall if you're doing an elevation. You want to just do the facing wall. No sidewalls, not till you get used to all the features and functions in Studio, and Studio does a lot. So, same with social media. You don't want to, now, most people have come down to picking one or two social media outlets, but blog is hands down. I really can't say enough. I think that is a huge one that you always ought to post things on your blog that you posted in social media, and you don't have to do them all at the same time. Wait a week or two, then post on your blog, or vice versa, Facebook or wherever you are. But you need a page in or create a page for your business on Facebook. So make sure that you create a page. You can post some of it on personal, but mention on personal that you have a Minutes Matter page, a Dandelion page or your business page. So that, but it's easy to get started. Just get started small, and we'll be glad to help you on the forum for those of you that are new to studio or new to social media. You know, post upload a image to show us, and we'll be glad to help you tweak it or make it better. We love helping you guys get better. How can you keep people from adding personal stuff? I guess I need some more explanation. How can you keep people from adding personal stuff? Not sure what you mean. Can you elaborate, Wanda? On Facebook, keep people from on your on your business page. Are you talking about on your business page? They post. Well, you can delete that. You have full control, so you can delete those posts. So you can do that. Now, I've seen this question a couple of, or I think it's from the same Minutes Matter Trial or Studio IT. Now that we're two different companies. I know it's Minutes Matter Studio, but Studio IT That's more of an accounting software. So that Studio IT is totally different from us. Let's see. What other questions? Oh, have a page on Facebook, but just need to learn the design software. We have lots of tutorials in our software, inside Customer Hub. And if any of you need your Customer Hub login information, we will be glad to send that to you. Just you can get on Facebook page, you can be wherever you need it, or on our chat. If we're offline on the chat, all you have to do is still send us an offline message. We'll be glad to send that to you. But get on Facebook, get on your Customer Hub account, watch some videos, but remember, you can't eat the elephant all at once. Can you use Studio to create business cards? You definitely can. You certainly can do that. So you can drag in images or create your own or use our images. Any image you use in our index is copyrighted by you. You have full license to do anything with our images. You just can't sell it as a software. But you can create anything with our images and sell those. So that is just fine. Yeah, create your business cards. We have a whole a video on that Merlin did several years ago, but it's still really good about and it's inside Customer Hub. I think the video is like $47 if you don't have it, so it's a great video to watch. Gives you a lot of ideas of how to get started creating a business card or to tweak it. Sometimes people just want to tweak their business card. They have somebody create it for them, and then they just need to tweak it, maybe update it a little bit. Reading more questions. Oh, and on Facebook, you can get more people to like your page. The people that like your page are going to be more likely to see your posts from in their feed, because that's where most people, they're on their phone and they're just going through their feed, just looking to see what's there. And it'll say sponsored. If you start noticing, you'll start seeing where it says sponsored on there. But I highly recommend, if you're going to start posting on Facebook, you're probably going to want to boost your posts, especially if you're trying to get them to your blog. Maybe give them a tip, maybe show a blog that you've done and say something about subscribe to the blog. So that would be a great idea. So definitely boost that post if you're trying, because it'll go out to more people, and that's a easy and very cheap marketing. So it's not very much. When you post on your business page, does it come to your personal? No, it doesn't. You might can set that up. I haven't looked at that, but I have when I post a blog, it feeds to my personal page. So when I post a blog from my website, it goes to my personal page. So you can have that set up.
When I post on my Facebook, Debbie, on my business page, I have to like it and share it, and then it goes to my personal page.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good. Anna, say that again.
When I post on my business page, I have to like it and share it, and then it posts on my regular page.
Okay. All right. That's it. Right. So like it and share it, and it'll go to your, because you can pick. When I do this, if I want to hit share, let me hit share. Let me see if I can, because it lets you on your own timeline, on your friend, and that's going to be my personal. Is that what you're talking about, Anna?
Yeah, I post it to all my friends, and it just goes on Anna Davis. Like I have one, Anna's Customer Guide.
Right. On your.
And then I post it, and then it'll go to my Anna Davis page.
See, this is on a page you manage or on your timeline. So on your timeline would be your personal. So
That's right.
and if you
That's
want
right.
to post on a friend's timeline, you can do that too. But you don't, or you can post on a group. And every time we go in, it seems like Facebook changes something. So just look around and read before you click. So just kind of read before you click. Now, Pinterest, another question somebody had is Pinterest business, is Pinterest for business different than the personal one? You can monetize the business one, so you can promote it is what you can do. And so it's not that much different from the business. But what I do like is that if, because my name, well, it was an issue because my name was so common, Debbie Green. I mean, how, oh my gosh, there's so many of us. But for Minutes Matter, there's not as many, so that's one of the big reasons I created a Minutes Matter page. Plus, a lot of you guys are going to be looking for me as Minutes Matter, not my name. So it's good to have both. And what I like about Pinterest is you can pick boards that you want to be across both of them. Like, I don't put the cooking stuff on Minutes Matter or my food. And by the way, a tip, don't get hung up on the food. I start looking at food, and then all of a sudden you're in some kind of a rabbit hole with food, because once you start looking at food, it goes down more and more and more food. So who doesn't like food, right? So anyway, just be careful, because you can spend too much time on Pinterest. Pinterest is really easy to go down too many rabbit holes. But keep keep in mind, you also want to work on your business. So find things that your clients would like to see that you've pinned, or that you create your own pin. It's really good if you create your own pin. And on a business page, you can put your website too. That's another thing. So that Pinterest for business, and they don't charge you unless you want to monetize it. So Anna, you have anything else?
No, I think that's it, Debbie. We're just getting a lot of okays and thanks.
Okay, well, everyone, have a great day, and thanks for joining us today. See you in November.